واتقوا الله ويعلمكم الله والله بكل شيء عليم.
Alhamdulillahi wahdah, wa salatu wa salamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah. Alhamdulillah, this blessed month is coming to an end, but there's still one obligation, and that obligation is Zakat al-Fitr. So we'll take 4 rulings pertaining to Zakat al-Fitr. The first one being, what is Zakat al-Fitr? We hear about it usually towards the end of this blessed month. Zakat al-Fitr is an obligatory act of charity that everybody has to give towards the end of Ramadan. As Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu said, فرض رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم زكاة الفطر صاعا من طعام وصاعا من شعير على العبد والحر والذكر والأنثى والصغير والكبير من المسلمين وأمر بها أن تؤدى قبل خروج الناس إلى الصلاة. That the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم made zakat al-fitr obligatory upon the free man and the servant, the male and the female, the young and the old, and he ordered for it to be given out before the Eid prayer. So that is what zakat al-fitr is. Some of you may ask, what is the wisdom behind giving zakat al-fitr towards the end of this blessed month? The wisdom behind it, as Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, فرض رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم زكاة الفطر طهرة للصائم من اللغو والرفث وطعمة للمساكين. That the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made zakat al-fitr obligatory upon us as a form of purification for some of the mistakes you may have made during the month of Ramadan, and as a way to feed the poor. So that is the wisdom behind zakat al-fitr. So the second ruling pertaining to zakat al-fitr is, when or how much can a person give? A person should roughly give 3 kilograms of food, meaning a person can't give money. You need to make sure that you give food and not money. Some of you may ask, is it permissible for me to give money to someone in a different country whereby they'll buy some food and distribute it to the poor? Yes, that's permissible, but you need to make sure that they give out food and they do not give out money. طيب. The third ruling pertaining to zakat al-fitr is, when can it be given? Zakat al-fitr can be given as early as a day or 2 before the Eid prayer, and the latest a person can give it out is just before the Eid prayer. Meaning, if a person delays it up until after the Eid prayer, then that person is sinful, but they still have to give out zakat al-fitr because it's an obligation. So some of you may ask, is it permissible for me to give money to someone a week or 2 before the day of Eid, and then a day or 2 before Eid, or a few hours before the Eid prayer, or maybe even the night before the Eid prayer, they'll buy some food and distribute it to the poor? Yes, that's permissible, but you need to make sure that they don't give out the food too early or too late. The fourth and final ruling pertaining to zakat al-fitr is, who should it be given to? Zakat al-fitr should generally be given to the poor, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a poor person in another country. It can be a poor person in the country that you live in, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a person who's not related to you. You can give your zakat al-fitr to a relative as long as that relative is not your mother or your father or one of your children. طيب, that's the 4 rulings pertaining to zakat al-fitr. Make sure you give it out before it's too late. سبحانك الله بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.